Da, 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 da. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? La 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 la. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Testing, 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 test. Ha! Ho! Hi! La la! Ha! Let me know if you can hear me. Yes, okay, all right. Now, good. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so what I was saying, or what you didn't hear me saying, was I was just saying earlier that the weather here in Vancouver is very cold and miserable. Nobody wants to be outdoors. Hello, Asul. So yeah, it's the time of year where everyone stays indoors and stays warm. So these days I'm drinking a lot of hot soup, eating a lot of cheese. It's not good. Okay, so in my mind, I'm planning on traveling abroad again, probably going to the Philippines. Who knows? Okay, so this live stream, if you don't know, we hold this live stream every week for you guys, so I can answer your questions instantly. Okay, instead of just making YouTube videos, which takes hours. Okay. Hours and hours of editing and filming. So if you have a question about anything related to the videos I make, just type it away and I'll try to do my best to answer it. And in the meantime, I'm just going to say what's on my mind these days. Okay, so first thing that I want to talk about is it's not a pleasant topic, actually. I don't know why, but in my mind these days, I want to talk about internet scumbags. Okay, there are just a lot of people online that are just lying and not saying who they really are, and they're just trying to they're preying on weak minds and just trying to scam people and just take advantage of people's trust. And the business that I do, behind the scenes, and the people that I'm in contact with, like for example Facebook groups or other YouTubers, they're not all who they say they are. All right, some of them, like, I'll give you an example. It's a typical one is Tai Lopez. Okay, I can't stand that fucking scumbag Tai Lopez, because everybody knows that what he does is basically a prototype of what all MLM marketers or these gurus say they are. They proclaim, right? They try to dangle something shiny in front of your face in order for you to open your wallets to them. And this phenomenon, this Tai Lopez phenomenon, doesn't just happen, with the big leaguers. It happens. I see like young kids hopping on the bandwagon and just trying to do what he does, and I just can't stand that. Like, I'll give you an example. Like a guy like Tai Lopez or whoever, right? His strategy will be like, how can I make a lot of money off of people on the internet? And so first thing, I got to prove to them that I look rich, so I appear rich. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rent a very nice apartment. Okay, I'm going to rent a very, very fancy car, and I'm going to film myself driving this fancy car and being in this fancy house. And I'm going to put my affiliate links and my my links down below for you to click, and you can buy my courses for $997. Everybody's red flag, red flag, red flag, woohoo, red flag. Okay, if you ever see someone selling you something that's worth over $100, they're full of shit. Okay, and I'm part of this stratosphere as well, because I sell my own online course, as you know. Actually, I sell like a swimming course, 7dayswim.co, and I sell a guitar course, juicyguitar.com. But I don't really want to be in that category where they are, because for me, I like everyone to be able to access my courses. So that's why I price them reasonably. So I price the 7-day swim course for $27. Juicy guitar course, $27. That's reasonable. That's reasonable price. Who would buy a course for $997? It's usually the ones that promise you to make like more money. Okay, make more riches, more fortune. Leave your shitty job, leave your old lifestyle behind, and come join us up on the clouds. Full of lies. Okay? Lies. And you know what? The time that I spent in Thailand just reaffirmed what I saw from online to offline. Right? These little digital nomad shits, living in their shitty little Thai apartments, just living like hippies. And they're selling $997 courses on how to be rich, how to live the laptop lifestyle. Full of shit. They're all scraping by. They're all doing freelance work on Upwork.com to get by. They're just living, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel in Thailand, and Thai people, they look down on these little shits and they're like, Jesus Christ, good luck. That's not real money that you're making, right? That's just such a fake world. And what happens, all these digital nomads that you see on YouTube, or these self-proclaimed like rich people that are selling you a $997 course, it could be like a $400 even course, but it's not worth the price. Because we got Udemy now. You can buy a course for like a fraction of that price. And the information is the same. It's just packaged differently, So I'm just tired of seeing these scumbags, these internet scumbags pop up a lot. And I can see them in the Facebook groups. They're lurching in the backgrounds, right? And they're posting their fake profits, or their monthly revenue, blah blah blah. But then when I see affiliate links and online courses that they sell, it's just all red flags for me, And they try to get me on board, but you know what? I see right through them. I see, and I call them out too. So I get into a lot of fights online sometimes, and it's not pretty. But I just can't stand scumbags like those just leeching off weak-minded people. So if anyone says that they will make you rich, I will teach you to be rich. If you follow my steps, and for this $997 course that I sell, fuck you, okay? They are full of shit, okay? Let me tell you one truth, okay, about a business, being a businessman, okay? Based on my mistakes and my failures, is okay? Whoever's selling the pitchforks is the one who's making the money in the gold rush. Think about it again, okay? I'll say it again. Whoever's selling the pitchforks, the the mining tools, are the real winners that are making the money in the gold rush, okay? Nobody makes money looking for gold. The people who sell the tools to these people are the people that are making the money. Okay, let that sink in for a second. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that whoever is trying to teach you how to be rich, their business is them teaching you how to be rich. Okay, that's where they get most of their income. Okay, they prey on weak-minded people. They show their stats. I made this much money, and I can make you make this much money as well. And all you have to do is buy my course. You got to believe in my system. You got to believe. And it's like they try to make it a religion, and they say, Justin, you're missing out. You're missing out if you don't join in. You got to believe in our system. You got to insert your credit card right here, and you got to buy in. And I'm like, fuck you. And they're just so brainwashed, and their followers, their dick riding followers, they're all brainwashed as well, and you can't argue with them. You can't reason with them, because, okay? I know what you're saying, like, okay, yeah, just ignore those people. But the line of business that I do, there's always these kind of scumbags coming in and out of my world. Okay? So, okay? So let me give you another truth. The people who are making real money, like really good money, don't have time to teach you. Okay? Let that sink in again. I'll say it again. The people who are making really, really good money they do. I'll say it again. Take two. The people who are making really, 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 really good money don't have time to teach you. Okay? So that means that they don't have time to make an online course, give you customer support, walk you through the steps, holding your hand. That's not their business model. Their main business is their primary focus. So what I usually do is find people who don't have time to teach me. Okay, is the audio working? Test, 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 test. Audio. La 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 la. Checking the audio. La 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 la. Check, 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 check. Let me know if you can hear me. Audio input. La 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 la. La 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 la. Let me know. Can you hear me? Check, check, check. Okay, audio's fine. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for the notice. So, yeah. So the people who are making real money in their business don't have time to teach you how to make their business, okay? Usually the people who are teaching you how to make that kind of business are the ones who are cashing out. They're on their way out of that business, okay? So if a bit, like, I'll give you an example. Like if a bakery is trying to make an online course for $997 teaching you how to open your own bakery, they're on their way out, okay? They're cashing out. They're not making enough money with their bakery business. So they cash out, close their business, and they teach other people how to make their own bakery business. It's as simple as that, okay? So what I do is, if I want to find someone who's better than me in whatever field of business, I make sure that they don't have time to teach me, because if they don't have time to teach me, they don't have time to teach others. And most people don't share their secret sauce if they're making so much money. That would be stupid, okay? Only the people who are on their way out of their business are the ones that are sharing the secret sauce. I'll give you a very typical example is affiliate marketing. God, there's so many goddamn affiliate marketing YouTubers now. It's just saturated, and they all have like $997 courses or above $100, and it's just full of shit, okay? You don't need to do that. What you need to do is you need to build an audience, okay? Whether that audience is on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, okay, wherever your audience is, you go to Amazon Associates, you sign up for the affiliate program, and then you start recommending products personally that you've used or you've used in the past to your followers. So if I was a baker, I would say, followers, this is the best tool that I've used. Buy this tool. You can get it, and then here's my affiliate link. Click on it, and I get a small percentage. That's how it works, okay? You just need to build an audience, okay? And there is no easy way. My business is like this. To be honest, my business is like this. Up and down. Successes and failures. I've had a lot of success and a lot of failures. It evens out. Nobody's business is like this. Hello, world, look at this. I'm making more and more money every second. No. They are lying to you, okay? It doesn't grow like that. It grows like this. Slow and steady, okay? Over the years, many, many mistakes, failures, heartbreak. Just, this is my friend. How many failures I've had. This is my friend that I resort to, Mr. Jemison. Because it's just unbearable, the roller coaster ride, okay? If you don't want to deal with it, then be an employee for the rest of your life. Work for someone. But if you want to be a boss, you're going to have to deal with the peaks and valleys and ups and downs. And it's just, some people are just not cut out for that. You know, it takes a lot of balls, takes a lot of guts, takes a lot of risk. You got to lose. You got to prepare to take a hit. You know? It's kind of, I remember Mayweather when he was doing the promo circuit with McGregor. He said, I remember what he said. He said, you got to learn how to take it as well as you know how to give it. Okay? So you got to take a hit. Or I'll just say, I like Mike Tyson's quote. He says that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And I've gotten punched in the face so many times in business, okay? So that's what I'm telling you. Okay, Owen Gaming and more. The people who have lots of money, number one, will walk past you in town and say, oh, sorry, I got no change. Okay. Asu L. That's true. Greedy people seem to get far, or maybe not greedy, but be careful. Yep. Maypop. Yeah. Owen Gaming and more. I love you so many vids. Thank you. I love you too. Little Galaxies. It's true. They're greedy, only want more money. Yep. Owen Gaming more. Not saying anything, but Jake Paul spends a lot of stupid stuff. Yeah, he can spend whatever he wants. Oh, that's another good topic. Spending stupid stuff. Spending on stupid stuff. Little Galaxies question. What's your advice on creating your own business? Okay, I'll get to your question right after the stupid stuff. Okay, Supreme. Let's talk about Supreme. Supreme is a great business. Okay, they are laughing all the way to the bank. Dab, dab. They are laughing all the way to the bank because all these little kids are just using their mommy and daddy's credit cards to buy all this stupid Supreme shit. And the Supreme company is, they're just laughing themselves all the way to the bank. Same with Apple. All these little kids, I was at the mall yesterday and I saw all these kids lined up and they're all doing the same thing. They're all huddled around the iPhone X and they're all just like, they're all pouncing on that model. And the funny thing about the Apple Store is that one thing I noticed is that they don't clean their products. You know? Take note of this. That place is full of germs. Okay? The Apple Store, I looked at all your phones and you can see all these fingerprints and smudges from all thousands and thousands of people who have walked into your store and have touched your products and walked out. Thousands of people walk into that store. And every day, all of those germs, those fingerprints, that just disgusting shit that's left onto your products, like your iPhone, is collecting day after day after day. So those products are very dirty, okay? Do not touch those products. Do not touch their smartphones unless you're wearing like some sanitary gloves or something, because just they don't clean their products. It's just a simple wipe. You can tell a clean smartphone from a dirty smartphone. Their smartphones are very dirty, okay? So do not touch their products, especially the iPhone X. So, you know, Supreme, Apple, Zara, they're all laughing at you when you buy their products. They're all laughing themselves all the way to the bank, okay? Because they are so busy. Okay, that's a good example. Apple does not have an online course to teach you how to do what they do. That would be stupid. They don't want to give away their secret sauce. Zara, they don't have an online course for $997 teaching you how to sell clothes. That would be stupid. They don't want to give away their secret sauce. But, you know, the information's out there. You know, Zara, what do they do? Look at their products. What's it say? Made in China, made in Vietnam. They're getting their products outsourced, manufactured outsourced. Their design is local, but they outsource all the manufacturing. Same with Apple. What do? They design all their products in the US, but they send the manufacturing straight to China. But you got to know that China, their prices are getting higher and higher because the cost of living is getting up and up. People are profiting. The wealth is accumulating. So people want more. People want more money. People want raises. People want higher salaries. People want more stuff. Right? So what do these factories have to do? They've got to go somewhere cheaper to manufacture their products. So, If I were you, if I needed something manufactured at the cheapest price, 3 places come to mind: Vietnam, Cambodia, and Ethiopia. Okay? Those 3 places are going to be the future of where everything is made. Okay? No longer will you see made in China on your product 10, 20 years from now. It will probably say that, but the lie or the real truth is that that product will say made in China, but it's actually made in Cambodia, made in Ethiopia, or made in Vietnam. Okay? Because the cost of living is much lower over there compared to China nowadays. How old are you, Justin Sibel? 36. I have Android. Sure, Android's cool. Asu, funny how Apple phones get slow as soon as a new one comes out. Conspiracy. Yeah. So, my mom, I'll give you an inside tip. Like, my mom works at the mall. Okay, she works at the mall, very popular mall. Okay, so she sees what goes on in the mall every day. So I asked my mom, like, who's walking around the mall with shopping bags in their hands? Like, who's buying stuff in the mall these days? The answer will surprise you. So I asked my mom, who's buying stuff in the mall? And the answer is kids. Kids are the ones that are buying stuff left and right at the mall. Not adults, kids. And funny thing is, where do these kids get the money? Their parents give them the money. Who's buying the iPhone X? Kids are buying the iPhone X. Adults aren't buying iPhone X. Kids are. And who's funding it? Their parents are funding it. Who's buying Zara? Kids are buying Zara. Kids are lined up at Zara. Kids are lined up everywhere at the mall buying stuff using their parents' credit cards and money. So that just shows you that, adults, they know how to save money. They know the value of things. Yeah. My mom still uses an iPhone 4S, for example. She doesn't want to upgrade because she's happy with what she has. But kids, it's a completely different beast. They've got to have the latest smartphone. They got to have the latest clothes. They've got to have the latest Supreme. They won't fit in. They got to buy their way into their clubs or niche or cliques or their friendships. And that's just bullshit. But, then again, when I was a kid, all of us kids, we were wearing Docs. Remember those? Docker boots? Because I went to a private school and we all had to wear the same uniform, but we could all wear different shoes, and the shoes that we all were into were Dockers. I didn't really like Dockers, by the way, but yeah, I don't. Did I have Dockers? I think I had one pair of Dockers. But things like that, kids, they're all just sheep-minded. They don't really think for themselves, okay? Questions. Okay, so getting to your question before about how do you business. What's your advice on creating your own business? Okay. What's your advice on creating your own business? Okay, here's my tip. First of all, you've got to just do it, okay? Most people, when they think about doing a business, they keep thinking about doing a business. And then a year will pass, 2 years will pass, 5 years will pass, and you ask the same person, how's your business? And they're like, oh, I'm still thinking about it. And they're still an employee, right? They're in that employee mind. And it's really hard to get out of that cycle, that loop. Once you're in employee mode, it's very hard to break that cycle, because all of your energy is spent in those 8 hours or 9 to 5, whatever hours you work in that full-time job. And then when you come home, you cook dinner, you go to the gym, your brain is spent, okay? You have no more brain power to use at the end of the day. And what do? You sit on the couch, you watch YouTube videos or Netflix or movies for your brain to just chill, right? It's very hard to transition from employee mode to entrepreneur mode, because it requires a lot of brain power, it requires a lot of risks, it requires a lot of you getting off your ass and doing things, making mistakes. And people just are afraid of the unknown, okay? And the biggest question or biggest fear is like, oh, what if my business fails? Your business will fail. My business, look at my swimming business, okay? I'll give you an example. 7dayswim.co. when I first released that course, I had no sales for like a year. Nobody bought my course for like an entire year. And what happened? I gave up. That was the stupidest decision, but I gave up. I gave up, and what happened? I had to buy a new link to my domain name to my course because some scumbag bought my original domain name. My original domain name was 7dayswim.com, but some scumbag picked it up and knew that I was I couldn't get it back. So I had to go with 7dayswim.co. That was my mistake. It took like a year and a half later to get a sale going. And then another sale. And then another sale. And then finally I'm getting sales constantly. It's a never-ending learning process when you're in business, okay? So the biggest problem is just taking action, okay? People are just so like information overload. They watch thousands and thousands of YouTube videos before they take their first step. They join Facebook groups. They keep asking questions. They take online courses. It's just too much for the brain to handle. And the biggest just teacher out of all is just mistakes, failures, okay? When you lose money, you learn really fast. Believe me, when you lose money, your brain will say, I do not want this to happen again, so I'm going to take precautions, or I'm going to try to learn as fast as I can from this. Okay, so taking action. There's just so many people who want to do something like a business, but they just haven't taken the steps, or they just stopped, you know? They just stalled. They're just not there yet. And it's not just business. It can be like fitness goals, okay? If you want to lose weight, it takes constant action, okay? You've got to fight your old loop. Your old loop is eating junk food, eating late at night, having a big meal in the morning, consuming a lot of bread, cheese, carbs. Again, and then you see your friends around doing the same thing, your family that you sit down to dinner with doing the same thing. You've got to break away from that cycle, and you got to start a new one. That's the only way you're going to lose weight. You start a new cycle. What's that new cycle look like? You don't eat anything in the morning. You just drink water and coffee, and you have a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. At lunchtime, you eat a tuna sandwich. Dinner time, you have steak, broccoli, and maybe some brown rice. And you repeat this process for 5 days. And then maybe on the 6th day, you can have that Big Mac. You know? It's hard. Very hard. And it just, people would rather pay money for someone else to make their mistakes, you know? And that's usually like an online course. So take action, okay? That's the first step. Have you ever diving 10 feet? Sure, I have. Little Galaxy is low. They are a reason for debt. Yep. Asu, that's why parents need to stop buying happiness for their kids. Funny thing about that comment is that Casey Neistat's recent video is spending time with my son. Watch that video. It's on right now. But when you see the whole video, it's just him shopping for shit for his son. So it looks more like spending money on my son. And that's what parents do. They feel guilt trip. They don't spend enough time with their kids. So what do? They got to buy their way back, and they buy them shit. Stop buying your kids shit, okay? Spend time and teach them values, okay? Teach them things that they will learn so they can buy their own shit with their own money. Parents are just as bad as children. They're telling their parents. Yep, I agree. Did you know that Paul Walker was on the radio when he died? He was also on the windshield. Okay. Looking to start a business. Just don't know what. Okay. What industry to target? Good question. The industry that you target, it better be something that you're interested in. Okay. I'll give you an example. I did dropshipping business. I hated it. Every second of it, I hated it. I didn't like the model, first of all, because dropshipping is like you're the middleman, right? You set up a store on Shopify and you dropship AliExpress products to unknowing US customers or people around the world. You're promoting their products using your Facebook marketing campaign or YouTube or whatever. I tried it out, failed. Didn't make any money, just got a lot of complaints. And the only people that made money was AliExpress and Shopify, okay? Again, those two people were selling the pickaxes during the gold rush. And I was the person looking for gold in that market. So whatever business that you start, it better be something that you like doing, okay? Because you're going to be in it for the long run. You got to be eat, sleep, shit, breathe every day this business, okay? You got to wake up thinking that I like doing this. I love doing this. And, you know, when you see money rolling in, yeah, that feels good too. But you got to make sure that you like doing it every day. I hate teaching ESL to most of the general population, because teaching in general is just a losing game, okay? You start with like 10 students, you start with 100% satisfaction rate. That satisfaction rate can either stay the same or go down. That's it. It can't go 101% satisfaction rate, Justin. No, it never goes like that. And rarely do teachers get 100% satisfaction rate from all 10 of their students. Oh, there's always one student that's not going to like your class. There's going to be one class that you didn't do well. Your performance will go down. And then you'll be called into the principal's office, and you're going to say, yeah, you got to come up with an excuse. You got to appease them. It's a losing game when you're teaching. I would rather be the teacher where people come to me and they want to learn from me instead of me going to them. And that's why I do not like teaching for Hagwons or ESL schools or for anyone else's business, because it's a losing game. All right? Even if you have a passion for teaching, you have to understand that it's a business. Business! They only care about their students. They don't care about you, okay? They can fire you and hire another monkey to do your job. So that's why. Yeah, you gotta love what you do. You gotta love it. Or if you don't like it, make a goal, okay? So there were part-time jobs that I hated, but it paid the bills. It set the path for what I was planning a few months ahead of time. So if I wanted to go on a trip, okay, I knew I had to work this shitty part-time job and do this extra hours in order to pay for my trip. Okay, that's a good plan, all right? So, yeah. Do you think college is worth the price? No. Rack up debt? Okay, it's college. Everybody has college, okay? My university was not worth the price. Okay, so here's my suggestion. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be, I don't know, an architect, if you have a career, if you want to be an accountant, a dentist, if you have a career that requires schooling, then go for it. If you have nothing in mind afterwards, you will get nothing afterwards. So, for example, if you want a degree for the sake of getting a degree, your job prospects afterwards will be zilch. You will be an ESL teacher teaching in Asia. That's my prediction. And that's what so many coworkers I saw around me were like. They all had degrees. They all didn't know what they wanted in college or university. And then after they graduated with a degree, they had no jobs lined up. And what did they do? The only ones that were hiring were ESL schools in Korea, ESL schools in Japan, ESL schools in China. And then they got hired immediately. They got their flight paid for, and they were just ushered into that world unsuspectingly. And I was one of those victims. And I would say that I do not recommend that path for anybody. I recommend the path of making your own money. Make your own money. Have your own freedom. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Make your own terms. Okay? So, university? No, not worth it. Unless you want to be a doctor, a scientist, engineer, okay? Yes, then go for that. Are you going to Philippines for diving? Going to Philippines for swimming, maybe. Little Galaxies, what is your favorite type of coffee? Favorite type of coffee is strong coffee. Strong coffee that will wake me up. It better be stronger than Red Bull. Because, let me tell you my experience in Korea, in Seoul. If you live in Seoul, you probably know this. Any cafe that you visit in Korea, in Seoul in particular, all their coffee is diluted. Okay, it's just diluted. It's just, you're just drinking water, brown water. Especially in the summertime when you just really need that pump, you need that caffeine. It's not there. It's diluted brown water. Sometimes even 2 shots, asking the barista to make 2 shots is still not even strong enough. So I would chug cups and cups of coffee in Korea because I wasn't getting that caffeine kick. It was just too diluted for me, and I was just spending so much money. It was just not worth the price. Now compare that to Thailand. Thailand, their coffee is amazing. Mwah! I love Thai coffee. The way they make it, it's strong, and you can add sweetener if you want. It's just the amount of caffeine that you need, and the price is much cheaper than Korea. So I'm not talking about Starbucks here. I don't recommend Starbucks, but I'm just talking about indie cafes or just the local cafes in their country. Korea, go to Idia. That's the only place that's good enough. And the coffee is just average. But Idia, don't go to Starbucks. Don't go to Coffee Bean. Don't go to Cafe Bene. Don't go to some place. They're all rip-offs. They're all the same business models where they charge just exorbitant amount of prices for their coffee. And it's just all diluted. Except for Idia. Go for Idia. For Thailand, just there's so many indie cafes. Just take your pick. I mean, they're all good in my opinion. When I shop, it is for food and for need items. Yep, good for you. Another thing is, cooking. Learn how to cook. Make your own food. Stop eating Subway. Stop eating McDonald's. Stop eating at the food court. Stop eating at restaurants. You'll save a ton of money. You'll know what food really tastes like, and you know what goes into your body every time. And that's the best way to lose weight, is to track what you're eating or what you're putting in your mouth. Journalist. Oh yeah, go for it. If you want to be a journalist, then yes, you need to take the right path, which requires schooling. And then yeah, of course, go for it. Be a journalist. But you think about this. Who's that guy? We need to talk about. Sup, you beautiful bastards. It's beautiful Tuesday morning. What's his name? Ah, I forgot his name already. He's famous. What was his name? We need to talk about. What was his name? My mind's blank. But he's a journalist. He's a YouTube journalist. What does he do? He just reports on the news that's happening around the world and on YouTube. He doesn't have a journalism degree. He makes far more money. And again, he has his own business model. Okay, Philip DeFranco. Yeah, Philip DeFranco. He's a journalist. I mean, yeah, Looper is a journalist. Grunge is a journalist. They make their own information YouTube videos. Just information that people want to know. So it just depends on which route you want to go. You want to work for CNN, you want to work for your local news network, or do you want to have your own business where you call your own shots, you keep all your profits? Philip DeFranco, he's a great businessman. Are you going to other countries on your quest for self-discovery? Self-discovery? No, I just want to go out and drink with people. Okay, so here's my perspective on traveling. When I'm in my own country, my own city, Vancouver, it's like being in your own room. When you're in your room for so long, you get cabin fever. You want to get outdoors and you want to explore. That's what it's like for me when I travel. I just want to explore. I want to see things thrown at me that are just unfamiliar. A language that I've never heard. Signs that I've never seen before. Foods that I've never tasted. People I've never met before. Things I've never seen, like built before. That experience is why I like traveling. And I don't fall for the shiny object syndrome that all these travel YouTubers are like. You're like, oh, wow, everything's so great here. Everything's wonderful. Everything's perfect. Oh my God, I love this place. No, they have rose-colored glasses, okay? Shiny object. It's just like when you get your own you get a brand new smartphone. Oh my God, everything's great. But like 3 months later, you don't look at it the same. You just want to chuck it and you want to get the next iPhone, right? It's the same thing with traveling. When you travel, you've got to separate yourself from the shiny object syndrome, okay? Not everything's perfect. I want to look at the dirt. I want to see the bad things about that country. I want to see the honest opinion of what people think about their country. That's the truth. I'm a truth seeker, okay? All those tourists, they're all living in a lie, okay? They're in their own little bubble, and they're only sharing like what they want you to see, the nice things, okay? So, that's my take on traveling. Have you done any martial arts growing up? Taekwondo, yep. Wrestling, have you done martial arts? Taekwondo, wrestling. But I didn't know how to swim until thanks to you. No, can swim decently. Hey, good job. Cool. You can swim decently? Awesome. Does martial arts help with swimming? Not really. Martial arts helps you get the feel of another person, okay? Swimming, you have to become familiar with water, okay? So fighting, you become familiar with another human being, right? How 2 arms and 2 legs come at you, right? Swimming, you become more familiar with how the water actually works with you or against you. I'll give you another example. Jump rope. Jump rope is all about listening to the sound of the rope and how the rope behaves when you do certain movements. It's all about listening to the rope. So these 3 categories, they're all completely different. They're all just, they're not related. So the more time you spend in the water swimming, the more you will feel things. It's just like driving. When you drive for the first time, you don't know anything about the distance of your front, the back, other cars. You don't know any of this. You need to develop that sensory, right, in your body when you drive. And then a few years down the road, you become like, you and the car become one, right? You know exactly how far you have to go to back up without hitting anyone, swerving around. You're completely in sync with your car. Same with swimming. Once you spend enough hours swimming in a pool, you become familiar with the water, your surroundings. You know what you got to do to move your body from here to there. So if you're afraid of swimming, my suggestion to all beginner swimmers is to just spend time in the water. Okay? Just chill in the shallow end of the pool. Okay? Just hang out. Move around. Play. Have fun. Look at the kids. How do kids become natural at swimming? They just spend hours and hours playing in the water. Okay? They don't need to be taught because they already know how the water works because they've been in it for so long, and they know that if they move their feet this way and they move their arms that way, they will go over here or over there. Okay? I saw this really genius kid swimmer many years ago. The kid was like 5 years old, but the kid swam like an Olympic swimmer, like a miniature Olympic swimmer. He was just amazing. The way he was moving his arms and kicking and diving and just looked like a fish in the water. It's just amazing. And the kid would go to the pool every day with his grandpa. So his grandpa would come to the pool. Grandpa would just sit against the, lean back against the wall and watch his grandson play in the water. And this was in the deep end. Every day we saw them, grandpa leaning back, chilling, and the kid was just doing whatever, playing around, swimming, every day. So the time you spend is more important than just whatever else you're thinking of, okay? Like in your mind or in your head. Do I have to do this, Justin? Do I have to do that? Forget all of that. Just be in the water. Put your body in the water. That's the first step. And just feel around, play, have fun, okay? Play basketball, all right? Bring your friends. Just get used to the water. iPhone 5 is good enough. Yeah, sure. iPhone 5 is good. Any smartphone is good enough, okay? As long as it works. That's all that matters. Remember, like not too long ago, we were all using flip phones. Remember those? Remember the Motorola Razor? I remember I had one. I had a like that. Not too long ago, I had those phones. Where did they all go? Gone. Disappear. Okay, so geez, time really flies. What are your tips when starting a self-made business? See, self-made business? Just start now. Do now. Start now. Do it now. Okay? And whatever industry that you're planning on doing, like for example, if you want to open up a bakery, learn from the best. If you want to open up a cafe, seek out the best cafe in your town and see what they do. Just observe. All right? I'll give you an example. In the mall where my mom works, there's like so many stores. Okay? It's like a big mall. Okay? There's a lot of stores. Okay? And easily I can walk around, I can see which stores are really, really kicking it, like really doing sales. Like obviously, Zara. Every time I go to the Zara store, there's always a lineup. There's so many pissed off customers with tons of clothes in their hands, ready to buy, not enough sales staff, but they're just ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. They're making money. They're sales, sales, sales. Go to Starbucks. There's like a vinyl line, right? Like, yeah, velvet rope. People are lined up, like 10, 15 people, always at this one Starbucks kiosk. A kiosk in the mall, Starbucks. Again, people are lining up, just endless line all day long. Just people lining up for coffee. Endless, right? Uniqlo, brand new to Vancouver. Tons of people, tons of foot traffic. When you walk into Uniqlo, the temperature rises because there's so many people in there. The temperature rises, people breathing. I feel hotter in a Uniqlo than when I exit the Uniqlo. The temperature of the mall is a lot cooler. Uniqlo's doing well. Now, if I go to Sears or The Bay or these other stores in the mall, there's nobody there. Crickets. Cricket. Nobody. This is just sales staff on their smartphones. Okay? And this is not just a Vancouver phenomenon. This is just anywhere I travel. I can see which stores are really doing well and which stores are just empty all the time. Okay? So, learn from your competitors, whatever industry you are in, whether you're a clothing store, a cafe, or doesn't matter. Just see who's really kicking ass in your field. Okay? Just proof is in the pudding. Just, yeah. Whoever's getting the sales, that's the person you need to pay attention to. And it's just really just heartbreaking and just sad to see other stores that are just not catching up. They're just not adapting to the times. They're just not, they're stuck in 1980s or the 1990s model, business model. You know, everything's online. Everything's Amazon. Everything's just like social media. Everything's now. Everything is just like you piss off one person, they're going to come back and write a bad review on you on Yelp or Google reviews, and you're finished. You know, people will search your business online. They see that Google review. Oh my God, I had a worse experience shopping at the store. The sales lady was blah 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 blah, and there's no response from the store owner. You're finished, man. So things like that. You've got to pay attention to your surroundings. Keep up with the times. I'm so happy my mom signed me up for swimming school when I was in. Yep, swimming school depends on which school you sign up for. Competitive swimming clubs are really good, in my opinion. You know, I see kids like doing like butterfly warm-ups. And their technique is just like amazing. You know, but for their coaches it's just not good enough. They need to do more. So competitive swimmers, you'll learn a lot. But, you know, the bar is just so high for them, for their students, for their teachers. And they're just they're never happy. Never happy with their performance, never happy with their swimming. They always have to keep going. And it's just too much stress, and just like I don't see any happy competitive swimmers. I see a lot of happy leisure swimmers just being in the water, doing front crawl once or twice is good enough for them. But competitive swimmers, never-ending pursuit of perfection will get to you. Okay, so just be careful of the dark side of being in that kind of group. Owen Gaming. Hello, I remember them. Swim, be one with the water. Yep, exactly. You got to become familiar with the water, okay? No one else can tell you what it's like being in the water except your body, okay? You learn so much by just being in the water and making mistakes, okay? And that's how I learned swimming, more than any swim teacher or coach shouting in my ear saying, Justin, do this, Justin, do that. No, shut up. No. I know what works for my body because I've spent enough time and made enough mistakes. And I don't like your method. I want to do my way. Okay? Same with driving. You know, no driving school can tell you how you ultimately drive. Okay? You develop that personality of your own, a characteristic of your own by just driving for many years. Okay? You know. Okay? Kathleen Saboom. Hello. Asuel, do you think braces are worth the pain and price? Yes, they are. I've had braces for 2-3 years. Put them on my teeth. Are they worth it? Yeah, they are. You either get them now or you get them later. You want to be an adult wearing braces? I was kind of in between. I wasn't a teenager when I got them. I was like in my 20s when I got them. So I was in the between period. So I was like a young adult. So yeah, did I feel like I should have gotten them earlier? Yeah, I should have when I was a kid, because adult life is just inconvenient. You know, it's like trying to finish your high school diploma when you're like an adult. It's like I should have done it a long time ago instead. So yeah, Misty Shade, I hate my swimming teacher. Okay, I get it. If you hate your swimming teacher, why are you still going? Okay. Drop out of that class. Quit that class. Go find another teacher or swim on your own, okay? Don't endure that kind of torture if you don't like your teacher, okay? If that teacher's getting you results, however, if you're getting a lot of results, then yeah, you got to deal with it, you know? Some people that I meet online, they get results when it comes to like business, but I can't hang out with these people. You know, they're not my type of people. They're not happy people, or we don't vibe. You know, they could be like a really fat person and I'm a really fit person. Our belief systems and when it comes to eating or fitness just don't vibe. But he's making a lot more money than I am. So I've got to just listen to that side of what he says, right? So whoever gets you the results, go for it. But if you can't stand them, yeah. We're almost approaching an hour, so I think we're almost going to be finished. So, yeah, most of what we were talking about in this live stream was about business, because these internet scumbags and these just horrible interactions that I've come across, because, yeah, they still thrive on preying on weak-minded people. Okay, so whoever promises you to be rich, teaching you to be rich, you know, I can blah blah blah, and no. Nobody can teach you, okay? You can teach you, okay? You can make mistakes. That's why foreigners are the real go-getters. I don't know why, but foreigners that come to like Canada, they are the real go-getters. They put in the work. They take the shitty jobs. They open their own businesses. They make their own money. They make their own success. They make their own failures. But they just keep going, you know? They don't need to take an online course. They don't need an online guru. They don't need online consultation. They don't need a $997 course to teach them to be rich. No, they just make mistakes. They come to Canada with like $5 in their pocket, and they start by just scrubbing dishes at your local restaurant where you're eating with your friends and spending your parents' hard-earned money. Foreigners, the future is them. Okay? They are the future Mark Zuckerbergs or Steve Jobs. They're the future just go-getters. You'll learn a lot from them, right? They are willing to do the things that most normal people or first world people don't want to do. So whatever country, here's another tidbit I'll leave. Whatever country I visit, I always look at, or I always observe who's doing the dirty work in the country. You know, who are the people who are, you know, cleaning the toilets, making sure the bathrooms are clean, cleaning the garbage, you know, serving you drinks? Who are these people? You know, because most likely they're the go-getters. They're the foreigners. Well, they're the foreigners, obviously. Most likely. But yeah, they're the foreigners usually that are the new to the country, and they're willing to start from the bottom. And most likely, a few years later, they're the ones at the top. They're the ones who have like a successful bakery. Wow, that bakery was an Iranian owner who started with just $5 in his pocket, came to Canada 5 years ago, started scrubbing dishes, and then he climbed all his way to the top. Now he doesn't have to work anymore. Or his sons now are all lazy bastards. It's always the second generation that just makes the family business crumble, because they were given everything. Like Casey Neistat's son, he's just given everything. Free skateboards, free shoes, free sushi, just like free meals. Like, stop it, Casey. Just make your kids suffer. Make your kids suffer. Make them hungry. Make them want to get things done. So, one more thing. Around Vancouver, you'll see tons of Ferraris, sports cars being driven by these young Chinese kids. And these Chinese kids, they have no idea how to make money. You know, those cars were bought or given to them by their parents, you know, because just like Casey Neistat, they didn't spend enough time with their kids growing up. So they feel guilty, so they buy them sports cars, they buy them luxury apartments. Seriously, they buy them apartments or houses here in Vancouver for them. Yep, they got the money. The parents do. But the kids, when the parents die and when the kids grow up, they will be completely just helpless. You know? I don't know how, but it's just they were given when you're given everything, when you don't need to worry about your next meal, where it comes from, how you earn it. It's just you become complacent, you become lazy, you become fat, you don't become ambitious, you have no desire except to shop. And that's what I see in these Chinese kids, rich Chinese kids. They just shop and they drive their cars and they just do dumb shit, boring shit. And the next foreigner that comes to Canada with $5 in his pocket, he's the one that's going to take over. So that's my spin on things. Okay, so if you have any questions for the next stream, leave them down below, or just stay tuned for the next stream, which will be next week. I will do the same kind of format. I'm not sure when, but yeah, I like to do these every week to answer your questions. So prepare your questions here or ahead of time, and I'll see you next time. Okay, so take care, love you, and I love you, bye.